What's going on, guys? Kulprit here, and welcome back to my Let's Play Oxygen Not Included series. We're getting back at it. I haven't played this game in about a week, and I'm a little bit of a predicament we'll get into in a little bit. But as I kind of get back up to speed, I'm a little worried. This base is not doing so hot. I didn't leave it in the best of spots, mostly because we're out of clean water, which is a little bizarre. But I've got a bit of a fix for that, so I'm not totally worried about that. But we're gonna have to find some water. There's just no way around that. And the scary part is there's not much around. This save doesn't have a lot of water. You see down here, this is our little heat lock. As we're going to get down here and mess with the magma, but we're not going to do that. We're gonna kind of go a different direction here. I don't have enough water to really do down here, and on my stream on Twitch, which I've been streaming this game a lot, it's been fantastic. The chat interaction and stuff, it's just a great game to stream. I have a lot of fun. If you guys don't follow me over on KulpritGaming on twitch.tv/KulpritGaming. It's been great. The chat's super active. Everybody has great ideas, and some of those things I'm going to get into today to share with you guys. Because here's my dilemma a little bit. As I'm just going to pause the game because I do feel like this game's kind of bouncing on a knife edge, and so I want to talk about a couple things, and then we'll get into it. I have a couple specific things I want to work on today: water conservation, and then kind of producing some hot materials, and I'll get into that. But my predicament is this: as I sit down to record this today with you folks, The new patch and the opt-in beta of the patch comes out tomorrow. So I assume most people are going to want to see the new content. I would. But the problem is I can't record tomorrow, and I won't be around for the week after because I'm going on vacation with my family. So I'm going to record a bunch of episodes like this. I'm going to try to talk on topics and mechanics that I think will withstand the patch, anything they may change. And just talk about ideas I have, things I've figured out through the stream and through playing, and just kind of the best practices, if you will. Couple, standardized ideas like the steam generators and water conservation and stuff like that. So, because I have a feeling with all the new things they're bringing in and all the tweaks they're making, hopefully this is one of the changes they're gonna make. I don't think it is even, but please give me the ability to have thresholds on these. She's supposed to be on a massage table, but she's not. This is weird. I don't know what. I have a feeling. I kind of vaguely remember that we were working very hard on this steam generator over here, which is working very well. If you look, there's a lot of steam going on, and we're gonna get into that as well. But basically, I'm gonna just do some more episodes. Then when I get back from my vacation, I'm going to Florida for about 10 days with the family, visiting family. When I get back, I'm gonna dive right into the new patch. We're gonna restart this Let's Play from scratch with everything we've learned, both here and on my stream on Twitch. And we're gonna kind of do a best practices Let's Play. I'm gonna try to do some one-off tutorial videos as well, if you guys are looking for something like that. Or I just try to kind of draw on some new viewers and things. So that's on my agenda. I just don't have much time right now. So first things first, let's go over what I just did. I just did it off camera. One of the best ways I've learned to save water. Now, basically what happens is electrolyzers are broken. So let's just take a look at them right now. Actually, I have it off right now, don't I? But if you look at electrolyzers, I have this pump off because I want to let this pipe clear. Basically, if you don't have this valve and stuff in here, you just have a pump to the electrolyzer. The pump is just going to push water into the electrolyzer. Now, the electrolyzer uses 1 kilogram a second. That's what it uses. All these little dots you can see here are 10 kilograms of water. Every dot, roughly, I mean, they can be less, but typically, if you're just doing a pump to electrolyzer, every dot you see is 10 kilograms. That's the standard bubble size. It just pushes them into the electrolyzer. Now, the electrolyzer only uses 1 kilogram, but then it sucks in a 10 kilogram to refill that 1 kilogram it used. Basically, it deletes out the other 9 kilograms. There is a reservoir, but just for the sake of conversation, we're going to assume that reservoir is full. That reservoir goes down 1 kilogram as the machine uses 1 kilogram every second. 1 kilogram every second it uses to pump out the oxygen. Then it takes in a 10 kilogram to replace that 1 kilogram. So you're replacing it, you're using a 1 kilogram, but then it's just deleting the 9. So you're losing like 90% of your water. That is ridiculous. That's crazy. So you have to conserve it somehow. And the best way we found via my stream, and I've seen this a little bit on Reddit. I've seen Sky Strom, I believe. I could be saying his name wrong. He's on YouTube. I've since subscribed to him. Somebody in my chat on my Twitch told me about him. I went and checked it out, and he has a different method, which I can just illustrate for you guys here. I'm not going to do it this time because because it takes up a lot more space, but it works equally as well. I've actually been doing some debug tests. So just assume we're over the pump here. You would come up here, you would come up towards the top, and you would branch off. We call it the branch or the peel method. And then you would put your drip vents here, and then you would just continue the pipe up to the electrolyzer just like you would. Now the theory here is you're not breaking down the bubbles. What you're doing is you're delaying bubbles getting to the electrolyzer. Basically, what you want to do is you want to time this, and the way you can time it is by how long these branches are. These branches, the shorter runs, water escapes it quicker, so more drops will go through it. Longer runs, they seem to block a bubble out, so a bubble won't go in this arm while there's already one in there. It seems to be a little bit of a timeout too. So you can manipulate it, the time, by how many of these branches you put, how long of them you put. And what you want to do is you want to do it in such a way that only one bubble will only reach this electrolyzer just as it's needed. Basically, just as this reservoir, which is 1,000 kilograms, once this reservoir gets to like 990, 988, 989, that's when you want the next 10 kilogram drop to hit. Now, you can also put a valve in there to kind of break it up a little bit differently, but that's kind of just getting a little bit more efficient about it. But in principle, you want to just recycle, peel off, like we said, we call it branching, or we call it peeling off the water, the bubbles, so that basically once every 10 seconds does a bubble get out and go around and reach. So it takes a lot of finagling and working, but it absolutely works. It saves you a buttload of water, and it's great. So if you haven't done it, like I said, if these theories and these methods and mechanics hold up after this new patch, I will be doing one-off specific videos about this. So don't worry, I'll get into a lot more detail. Here, what you can see is I've taken my pump. This is my pump to my electrolyzer. The pump comes up, it hits the valve. Now you see it just goes in the intake, it goes out the outtake, and it goes around, it goes to the electrolyzer. Nothing else in the way. If you don't have this branch off here, you don't have this little with this drip vent and the piping, what happens is you can have this restricted, and I have this down to about 900 gallons a second, or basically just under 1 kilogram a second. I like it to be just under, because then I never quite reach the ceiling on the electrolyzer. But that's kind of a work in progress. I'm trying to dial that in. If you don't do that, and you're sending 10 kilogram bubbles into the valve, and you're only sending out 1 kilogram bubble out, it's going to eat that 9 kilograms again as well. Like, the valves are just as buggy as the electrolyzer. In fact, it's also the hydrogen generator does it as well. I want to set the same setup up here too. So what you do is, and this was discovered by somebody on my stream, in my chat. I don't know where he found it, but he told me about it. If you do an off tank, like an outlet pipe off of the inlet, so basically what happens is, when this valve has enough water, when this valve has enough in its reservoir, it has what it needs, like it's only letting out 1 kilogram, but it's got 9 kilograms left from that 10 kilogram bubble, it closes. Just imagine right here, it closes off. So that any water coming into the intake is pushed out. And it goes out and drips back into your water. So it worked really well, actually. There is a little bit of loss in all of these, but it's only... the test I was doing in debug was about 4 or 5%, which is not much. And I would wager that 4 or 5% goes with the pumps. So any method you do involving a pump is probably going to have some loss associated with it. So without like delaying this too much, I'm going to let this run. I want to let this pipe... valves do have a reservoir too, so I'm just letting them run out. Oh, come on, game. Are you going to crash on me? Oh, there we go. Hopefully they start optimizing this game a little bit too. If they want to let people start doing longer runs, they're going to have to optimize this. So I'm just trying to let this run down, and then we're going to turn it on, and I'll show you exactly what I mean. So there are two methods. So basically, in essence, what I've been doing this whole time is I've just been pumping. I had a valve, but I was only messing with it a little bit. I've been pumping raw water all the way over to the electrolyzer. I've been using 1 kilogram a second, but I've been pumping into it about 10 kilograms a second. I've been losing 90% of my water. So in theory, if I perfect this and I conserve this and I do a better job with this in our next Let's Play, assuming this holds up with the patch, maybe it'll be fixed. Maybe that bug won't be there. I don't know. Maybe it's not a bug. Maybe it's just operating, as desired, and this is the whole point of valves and things. But if I do this, and we're at, what, 900 cycles now, we're basically out of our fresh water. If I were conserving this from the get-go in the way I'm talking about, I mean, I would have had enough fresh water to last me until... I mean, let's say you're going up to 100 cycles, right? And you're starting to run out of fresh water, which is a problem a lot of people have. With the same water, if you do this method, you could last up until 900 plus cycles on water alone. I mean, we all know there's other issues that are going to limit you, but... or at least give you headaches. Why is this open? Oh, I think let's just get stuff out of here. But yeah, it gives you way better water conservation. So it's definitely a good way to go. I'm just looking it over again. I'm kind of trying to familiarize myself with this base. I've kind of forgotten as we've been doing our stream colonies now. It's always confusing to have two going. Have a stream going. This is a problem. Atmospheric pressure too low. But I have a way to fix that, so I'm not too... I think I have a way to fix that anyway. I'm actually... Because I'm going to be conserving so much water with this method, what I'm probably going to do is put an oxidizer here. And I'll probably put like an oxidizer over here, maybe even like right here. And that's going to help really keep the pressure up a lot better, push oxygen through, and keep the pressure much nicer. I just wanted to do this and talk with you guys and explain to you what I'm doing. And I think that should help alleviate a lot of the temperature. That should alleviate a lot of the pressure, because that's one of the big problems you run into as you get further into the game. Now this is super important because this is all the water I have. I have water over here because if you put organics underneath water, they don't produce contaminated oxygen. So that's just an easy way to manage it. I don't have a lot of water to play with. Some of it is tied up in steam, obviously, but there's not a lot around here, and I'm gonna have to start exploring to find some more. But like I said, I wanted to focus on some general tips and tutorials and just best practice mechanics I've found. All right, so here we go. We're gonna turn this guy on, and we're gonna watch, and I'll show you what I mean. It's easier to tell when you see how it works. So there you go. It's gonna start pumping. Unfortunately, there's really not much water. But you see now it's one. All right, so one bubble went in. Now theoretically, I don't know if it'll even show us this. It's holding 100 kilograms. Is that right? I don't think that is. I think that's the whole machine. I don't think that's what's holding. Contents 900. So yeah, is that right? That's 1,000 grams of water. Yeah, that would be 10 kilograms, wouldn't it? A kilogram is... Nah, I don't even know right now. I'm so... Oh no, that's the pipe itself. Max flow rate, average flow rate, not pumping. No, max... Why? What did I click on before? Yeah, that's the pipe. So... Doesn't really tell. Average flow, max flow, not pumping. 200 kilograms. It doesn't tell you like what it has in reserve. But anyway, what's going on here is these bubble pumps in. The first one went into the valve. These are all 10 kilograms. So, but this one is about 1 kilogram. See, it's about 1,000 grams, 1 kilogram. So a 10 gram went in, 1 kilogram is going to come out. Now you're going to see it's going to let out 1 kilograms. So as more and more, so you can see. Well, I'll let a couple run off so you guys can see. These are all 1 kilograms. If I can find, where is it? There you go. 1 kilogram, 985, 1,400. The valves obviously are not perfect. 938. It tries to average 1,000. 934. So you can see it's intaking a 10 kilogram, and then it's slowly letting out about 1 kilogram per blob. So basically, takes in 1 blob, lets out 10 1/10 of a blob. So then what happens with the water? If I don't have this branch off and I don't have this thing here, what happens? These bubbles just keep going into the valve. They just keep smashing into it, still only letting out the 1 kilograms on the other side. That's what a valve's supposed to do. It's supposed to restrict it and let out what you want. Those get deleted. So 9 blobs in the 10 seconds get deleted. They just get lost. It's crazy. But if you do this, you have a little bridge out and a dump. When this is full, when this doesn't need water, these just get bypassed out. See, these are 10 kilograms. These are all 10 kilograms. See, a little bit different, so I must have eaten a little bit of that. 10 kilograms. So it's basically just taking saying, nope, I don't need you. 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 And it just dumps you right back into your reservoir. And then when it needs it, it will take it. And so that it's working how it's seemingly supposed to do. Again, that whole branch mining and peeling works very similarly. The end result is very similar. It's just it takes up a lot more space. You kind of have to design your tanks with that in mind, and it takes more balancing. But I do believe that way probably might even be a little bit more efficient. I have to do a little bit more extensive testings. But you can see the end result is I'm bypassing a lot of water. I'm dumping a lot of water back into my tank. I'm not using it. But the electrolyzer is still running. It's still doing fine. It's just got the same amount of uptime. So there you go. Like we're doing just fine on running the electrolyzer. And we're doing it at a fraction of the cost in the water. So it's pretty cool. It's pretty awesome. I'm pretty proud of the stream, kind of figuring that out. Not necessarily figuring it out. We took ideas from all over the place. Like I mentioned, the first place I saw it, like officially on YouTube or whatnot, was by Sky Strome, S-T-R-O-M-E. I believe. I'm going to try to link it down below if I remember. I'm a little bit under the gun with this vacation coming, so I may forget. But if you search on YouTube for Sky Strome, he does a lot of Let's Plays and stuff. I believe it's episode 16 of his Oxygen Not Included Let's Play. If you check it out, he explains it very well, at least for the branch and the peel method. This method, I don't know necessarily where this little thing came from, but it's so like simple and elegant. I love it. And it's much easier to implement. Like, you can implement it over here by your tank side. You don't have to have all these apparatuses over here. I just like it. I like it. So, in theory, what I just did by implementing this is I have reduced my water consumption to 1/10 of what it was before. That's awesome. Like, we should theoretically see, without introducing any water into the system, we should start to see this grow. Because I'm going to be using a lot less as this pumps over and is purified, because we're not out of the water purifier yet. But we need to be soon, because we're only at 35,000. This is a problem. So what we're going to do, just trying to think right now, I do want to add another electrolyzer. So let's think about this. We put one here, because we want to make I want to sneak it over here. Maybe right here would work. I guess right here would, but I kind of like, I don't want to put it down here because I feel like then it doesn't quite hit over here like I want it to. So over here maybe, even lower. Let's just try. We can move it around. Now, how do I want to do this though? Because with this new way to do this, I don't know. Because I don't know if. I mean, I could just pipe off of here, I think, and try that. Why don't we do it just for science? We'll do that. We'll see how that works. Oh no, that's not what I want to do. See, this is the bigger problem of all this. Is there is piping everywhere. Piping everywhere. What is this? This is the water purification pump. This is from down below. Alright, so what I think we're going to need to do, we're going to reroute this sucker. That's not really going to work too well either, though. Why are you doing that? Why are you doing all that craziness? This is the problem as you get further on and you keep doing different ideas and stuff. Oh yeah, this is gross. Because I'm just thinking that I'll be able to move this guy out this way. So if I take, let's just take this guy out of here. This guy's mucking it all up. And then we do this guy this way, which I understand is going to take some excavation and stuff. If that guy's out, then this is the water purifier. He's not really gonna. I don't want to use bridges. I don't like bridges. I feel like bridges cause a lot of problems. So this guy, come in here, pop into that. Yeah, let's do it like that. Bear with me, guys. Bear with me. This tends to happen a lot as I redesign anything now. So the expert boom into the same pump. It might slow it down a little bit, but I'm not too worried about it. I think the scrubber even does. I think it takes in, pops out 1,000. So I think the rate's really slow on it anyway. Alright, so let's let them work on that. Start clearing some of this up. Come on. No, the game's frozen again. Anytime you... Oh, man, it might crash, actually. For me, anyway, anytime I start the game in one of these views, it gives me all kinds of problems. Take that out. Alright, so... Yeah, we're gonna get that all out of there. That's all it is. So this guy is what? This guy is my water purifier, which maybe I'll bring him down here. I'm going to bring him down. Who is lashing out now? I can put the water purifier right here, couldn't I? Yeah, why don't we do that? Where's the water fire put off? Water, heat, and decor. Sure. I don't care about decor down here. Plumbing. Maybe a straight shot, and then this guy can go up one. Oh god. I'm just so bad at these pipes. Alright, what do we want to do? Where do we want to dump this guy off? Just come right in here, I guess. Up. And word-wise, I would make these tanks bigger next time. I would make them actually quite deeper, so that you have a lot more room to work in them. Deeper and wider, just gives you more room to work around in them. All right, that should work on that, and then we'll get rid of the purifier, which I can't really pause right now because, man, my game, every time I try to restart it, it's just brutal. The frames are brutal, which this isn't normal. I don't really understand why this is going on. Hey, B, I'm about to kill you off, to be honest, because you keep lashing out, you keep being a pain in the ass, and I have you on the massage table, so go to sleep, please. Alright, so what else we got here? So this guy's gonna be out of here. Yeah, so that'll open this whole area up. I don't even know what all this is. Like, what are these? That's the like... See, let's do this then. Let's get rid of a lot of this. This guy here can go into there. Every now and then I just feel like I need to do a reboot. Delete all the stuff out. So that should... I don't think that will interfere. I mean, this is basically... I could get rid of all this too if I needed to. Deconstruct that. I might as well leave that vent there. I'll use it here. I'll use it with this. Pull this guy into it. Oh, maybe not. What is that one? Shoot. That is from the steam, which goes where? I'm gonna have to reroute that somehow. We'll get into that in a minute. Just deconstruct that for now. I don't know what we're doing here. Let's get this prioritized up. So now I can get rid of that. There's a lot of work to be done here, but the whole reason I'm doing this is to see the plants. The plants are dying. There's no pressure over here. So what we're going to do is we're going to actually... little trick I've found, which I don't like having the bathroom on top. Put these little kind of scoops there. So it'll hold a lot of the pressure in. I'll put a breathable tile in the middle when we get to it. Kind of helps encapsulate the pressure in that little dome. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to untie this piping mess for you guys, get it all nice and set up so that we can move along. We'll put the 2 electrolyzers in. The next episode what we're going to do is we're going to go over here and focus on the steam generator. It's working, it's just not working optimally. Up here, in case you can't tell, I am trying to freeze materials. Right here, we're going to do this for granite. Oh man, my game is running so slow. These are filling up with iron and copper. Then basically what we're going to do is we're going to... What is that? Is that liquid oxygen in here? Wow, it's that cold, huh? Okay. So if you take this out and you pop it and you break it, which we'll do it in the next episode. You know what? I'll do it right now. I'll pop the iron. It's going to drop all the iron onto the ground, and theoretically the iron should start to get cold. I don't know if it will or not, but this is what we're trying. It's hard to tell. Is this ice? No. Liquid oxygen and... Like, what is that? Solid carbon dioxide. That's how cold it is in here. But as you can see, just take a look. This is copper, 87.9 degrees Fahrenheit. Let's see if that goes down at all. I feel like it should. But we'll see. We'll have to see. Shut this guy off. We don't want any people right now because we're having problems with our food. And, yeah, we might, though. We might be getting rid of Bay. I'm not dealing with her like this. I mean, what is she doing? Like, constant. Bay. Get on the massage table, please. Alright, so like I said, I'm going to untangle this pipe mess just so that next time... what happened here? What happened here? what I don't understand what just happened here. We got chlorine in the base somewhere, somehow. How did the... What did I mess something up with the pipe? Why is... Oh, because this got connected here? Yep. I don't know exactly where or why. But yes. Something got majorly messed up. Something got connected over here. Some bad water is now coming in. Alright, so I gotta correct that. I'll do it with a liquid filter. I'll show you when I figure it out, but I'm gonna do it off camera so you don't have to stay for 30 minutes watching me do it. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Like I said, I've been doing a lot of streams on Twitch, so if you haven't followed me yet, head on over to twitch.tv/KulpritGaming. Follow me over there. I'm looking to do some streams, perhaps on YouTube too, YouTube as well, as if I can figure that out when I get back from my vacation. Otherwise, guys, I hope you have a nice day. I'll talk to you next time. Take care.